What's up, Tarot fam? So it's Thursday, and you know that means scandals and royals, and I'm mashing up the two of those. We're going to be talking about the wayward stepson in Norway. Be right back. Oh, my. I've got some crazy hair going on here. Boy, I've got to get over to Chop Chop Bang Bang and get some of this Chop Mom Mop off. I've got a little bit too much hair going on. But welcome. I didn't do World Politics Wednesday yesterday. I actually got a little bit busy, but I did do a Mixtape Monday clip for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I saw a bunch of you checked it out. Just thank you so much for being patient with me. We've got a lot going on in our family this week, so I've been a little bit crazy busy. I am not liking my hair. I'm sorry, guys. I know there are some haters that are like, don't fuss with your hair so much, but boy, is it wild today. Anyway, let's talk about Marius Borg Høiby. He's 27 years old. He is the stepson of the monarch intended for Norway. His mother is Crown Princess Mette-Marit, stepson again to Crown Prince Haakon. I think I'm saying that correctly. He was charged with 32 offenses. He's 27 years old, charged with 32 offenses, 4 counts of SA, and they're 4 different women. This seems kind of chronic. So we're going to take a look at it now. I do want to say everyone's innocent until proven guilty. There are situations like this, and having a teenage son, it's one of the things that I've always said is you have to be extra polite when you're on a date or when you're dating, because you don't want things to go in a different direction. I've urged him not to engage in adult sports because you don't know what's going to happen later on. So you don't know what someone's going to say later on. Sometimes there is revenge allegations. Sometimes they're legitimate. I'm not saying anything about that, but let's see how this is going to work out for Marius. He's always kind of brooding in a lot of the pictures and does look a little bit like Charles Starkweather. Charles Starkweather was a spree, taking him off the earth plane guy from the 50s. Very odd character, let's put it that way. But this kid looks a lot like Charles Starkweather. We'll take a look at that as well. This was first revealed in November. We did have some whispers about it. There's a 20-year-old woman who had advised that there were some psychological and physical attacks done to her. He was later arrested on preliminary charges that included violating a restraining order. So TRO, restraining order, impediment, I think it is called in some countries. He was also arrested for driving without a license. So this is a rule follower. Let's just put it that way. He is following rules. He does have representation. He is going to present a detailed account of his version. He has no line to the throne. Just want to let you guys know. So technically he's not a royal. He's royal adjacent. But he is connected to the Norwegian royal house of Glucksburg via marriage in 2001 when his mother married the son and second eldest child of the King Harald and Queen Sonja of Norway. So, he's not the would-be king. Sorry, but I don't think he is the would-be king. Sorry about that. So we're expecting a trial next year, and Hoiby could spend up to 10 years in prison if convicted of the most serious SA charges. Let's check this out. We're going to look at it. Heavy topic. So if you are triggered, please exit the room. Go watch one of my fun videos. You can see something on Johnny Depp or Amber Heard or something goofy. You could also go check out the fun stuff that Greg and I do on Super Nat Saturday now that he's retired. He is a co-contributor to One Day of Programming here. And when you watch this, make sure that you come on over. I have a members live today at 3:05, and I have a general audience live at 4:05, both New York time. We're going to have some fun. Unfortunately, I am rolling my general live over Candor's, and Candor's going to have a really good project going on too. So if you want to watch his, he's going to be talking to someone from Area 51. I'm kind of bummed out that I'm missing it, but I'll watch it red balled. And you guys can either red ball me, red ball Candor, whatever you want to do. Also want to remind everyone, my 20 for 20 sale was remarkable. I am booked up solid through the rest of today. I've got a bunch of obligations, but I have opened up my calendar all the way through Saturday night, about 10:30 at night here. So I know a lot of people, I saw a lot of new faces on it. I want to see a lot of more new faces. So if you ever wanted to get a reading, this is the lowest pricing I've ever had. Jump on in there, book it. There's a link down below. Let's start talking about this poor Marius Borg. Marius Borg. So I'm going to bring up the card view, hit that like button. And let's giddy up, Buttercup. So let's get a picture of Marius Borg. We have seen, like I said, he looks a little bit like Charles Starkweather. But I don't think he's bad looking. Charles Starkweather was not bad looking. Kind of looked like Billy Idol, like that Billy Idol back in the day, not Billy Idol now. I was a huge Billy Idol fan. Loved Billy Idol. So let's see what Marius is actually like. Is he a good dog? Is he a bad dog? What are we talking about here? Two of Swords, and then we have the Four of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Page of Swords in reverse, and the devil has come home, says Papalori. Mrs. White. It's from the movie Carrie, if you haven't seen it. Troubling. A little bit of a troubling kid here. So I think with this Two of Swords in reverse, I think we are seeing the other side of the coin. I'm not saying that he's presented as, the end all be all great guy. I think he has had a bit of a reputation previous to this for maybe being bratty, not so nice. But I think it now is showing. I am a firm believer that kids will be kids until they're 25. The prefrontal cortex is not developed. So at the age of 27, he is already a couple of years into that firmly established adult kind of mentality. So I think that we're seeing the guy that he is. I think there's a path of no return. I am going to say, I do think that there's going to be some time served on this one. I think he has made a pathway into a very, very poor kind of lifestyle, which means maybe some public housing. Underneath the Four of Pentacles, I think this is indicative that they are going to really try and protect what the story is. Let's get some clarifier cards. I'm going to use a little itty bitty deck here. Whoop. Let's get this one going. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to use this one. Hang on, my friends, my friends, my friends. We are going to use, rarely bring this out, Mildred Payne. Bringing out the Mildred Payne deck. Kind of goes with this Sleepy Hollow deck. This is the Legend of Sleepy Hollow deck. It's a new deck of mine that I am using for the Halloween season. If you would like to purchase your own, there will be a link in the description. I'll also link the Mildred Payne deck. A lot of people like this. I purchased it through Etsy, and that way you can get your own. Cool story behind this. Cool story behind this deck. So who is protecting him? Is he protecting himself? Is the palace protecting him? What's going on here? The feather. It's a light touch. Oh, Saturn. The rings around Saturn. And the star. So they are getting to work dusting off the stink of this situation. They're going to try and distance themselves. They're also going to try and elevate with that star. We're going to try and elevate and say, no, these are just, people that are not happy with the turnout of the relationship, and they're grasping, and now this is kind of post-coital disrespect, let's put it that way. We did see this with Aziz Ansari, what is his name? The comedian. He was accused of SA as well, and this guy from he was on The Office and a few other shows. He was accused of SA, and the details of the case, and I'm not victim shaming here, it sounded very much like she just regretted hooking up with him. I wasn't there. I don't know what the circumstances were, but it did sound a little fishy. I think that's the storyline that they're going to try and go with here, is that he was just kind of going about his own business, and oh my, how terrible it is to be in a position of privilege and have all these people that are trying to take advantage of you. I don't know. It doesn't really wash with me. I think this business of forcing situations, let's just say that, being forceful about getting one's way, I don't think is exclusive, dubious, and distinct to the adult recreation. Let's put it that way. I don't think adult sports, let's call it that. I think this is something that he has exhibited before. I think he has exhibited bratty and boorish behavior prior to this, like maybe with toys and things like that when he was younger. We have another 4 of Cups in reverse here. He is very much scrambling to try and concoct a story. Page of Swords, when in reverse, is typically somebody who's trying to come up with a really good storyline. They're trying to make the facts fit the situation. So we have this Devil in reverse. I think we are going to find out that most of these girls are very glad to have him in the rearview mirror, and I think he is going to say, I didn't like them anyway. It's very sour grapes kind of thing. How is the Norwegian royal family and courtiers, how are they feeling about this? What is their plan? Three of Wands. Oh, 9 of Swords. The Magician. It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Ugh. Yikes. There is really not a lot that they can work with here. The stories wash for them. So the conversations that the Norwegian royal family and the courtiers are having behind the scenes and the legal team is that we really don't have much to work with here. We're kind of in trouble with this one, creating a lot of anxiety. They are bringing in a PR specialist, if not already on the books, to try and make some magic here, but that is not work. It is absolutely not going to work. They are going to find out that there are excessive substances, excessive drinking, those kinds of things that were going on. And the King of Wands in reverse right here is somebody who puts that wand where it is not necessarily wanted. So I think that they have already determined that, yes, he did kind of insist. I'm watching my language because of YouTube and the algorithm here. So he was insistent on the behavior that we just talked about. Up top, he is a problem that they can't get rid of. He is absolutely a problem. Down here, Queen of Swords, if they could, they would say, bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. They would absolutely let him exit. How is the court going to view him? How are they going to view him? What is going to be the response of the court in this particular situation? What is the response of the court? It's the craziest cut I've ever made, ever. Wheel of Fortune. Now this is wild, and I want to mark this. So we are going to do for future cast. So the future cast, I do think that the courts are going to try and be lenient on him. They are not going to omit all of this, but I think they're going to be lenient. Why do I think that? The challenge, friction between the court system and the royal family is something that's just not done. And it's a rarity, and this is a gray area. They have to trod very carefully. I think ultimately, there is a decision. There's a concept here in the middle right now. Let's just kind of tuck them away someplace. Like, let's send them off to, the north or something like that. I don't think that that's going to work. I think ultimately that smarter heads will prevail, and they will say, no, it has to be time served. So I do think he is going to serve some time. It's going to be very unhappy about it. Queen of Swords. There we go. And the Four of Swords. They are going to come up with something very interesting for him. It's going to be kind of a bespoke approach. It's not going to be exactly what everyone's going to want it to be. They're not going to have him like in a prison. He is going to be detained in a certain environment. So does that mean like a rehab or something like that? Perhaps that's the exchange. They try and fix him. Is this individual fixable? Is this individual fixable? I get very strongly there's a lot of substance abuse here, guys. Very strongly. Can be anything. Liquid, powder, plant life. He's not fixable. There's no place for him in the Norwegian royal family, even as a satellite member now. There's no place for him. So they are going to have to manage that situation. How is his dear sweet mother, Princess Mette-Marit? How is she? I think it's Metta. I think I'm supposed to pronounce that Metta. Queen of Swords. Yeah, kudos to her, because I think I think this is her tough love moment. I think she says, you know what? You done bad. And you're lucky that they're going to cut you the deal that they're going to cut, but you gotta do this. You got to sit on this, and you got to live in it. They're going to protect him from being, interfered with by other prisoners, that kind of thing. He's going to have kind of a specialized treatment, but she is putting mommy in the back. It is through this act of love that she is going to exhibit the toughest behavior. So, very interesting. She's going to allow him to do the time that he needs to. It's going to be, conditional time, but she's going to allow him to be punished a little bit. So this was very interesting. I knew I'd heard about this some time ago. I did have a viewer request for it, but I wanted to do it for today's Royals and Scandals because it fit the bill on both. I guess it fits the bill on both. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Let me know if you want to keep following this. Look down below. There's a comment section. You can put comments there. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I saw a great subscriber bloom over the last couple of weeks. So thank you if you guys are new. And don't forget, lives this afternoon. Don't forget, we're having Super Nat Saturday. That is going to be live as well. And then there is a psychometry class immediately after. We're going to be talking about psychometry, the art of touching things and extracting information from them. We're going to talk about the history and who started it and who are the bigwigs in it. And then you're going to learn how to do it yourself. So the class after, you have to just bring a couple of items with you. You can sign up for that down below as well. Not a lot of people are in there, so it could be a really, really small group. So you'll get a nice little private lesson with me. Gregopedia is going to be in that as well, and we hope to see some of you. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in a little while in the live in the future. Bye now.